Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back. Thanks for coming to see me today and do a little bit of crafting. So we're going to make our cards today using a couple of the stamp sets from the project that I'm doing, Stamping from A to Z. I'm trying to pull out stamp sets from the beginning of my bookshelf over here and a stamp set from the end of my bookshelf over here, working towards the middle and trying to get the most use out of the stamp sets that I have. So if you're new, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good. So from the beginning of our alphabet this week, we're up to Art Gallery. And this happened to be a favorite, I think, just about of everybody who had ordered that stamp set. So I know I've already had a lot of use out of this, but I don't mind using it again because it is pretty nice. And it has a coordinating die set, floral gallery dies. And so we are going to make one of these flowers and cut it out to add to the front of our card. I guess I should have prefaced this by saying the stamp sets that I'm referring to are stamp sets that I have from Stampin' Up. And I think in time I will incorporate some of my other stamps that I have from different places. But right now I know I have a lot of these that I need to use. The stamp set from the end of my bookshelf is Woven Heirlooms. Woven Heirlooms is mostly font, just a couple little flourish designs on here. It came with coordinating dies that fit into 3D embossing folders so that you could cut and emboss out your shapes at the same time, or you could use them separately. Actually, this card's going to go really fast. I'm going to do this first because it's almost like cheating. It's so simple. It really is almost like cheating. So the paper that I'm going to use, and one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because this is from the new celebration by Stampin' Up. I got this paper for free, Dainty Flowers. And so I wanted to use it because it's just beautiful. It's all watercolory, and I love watercolors. I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy playing with them. And so in this pack of paper, there is one sheet that is all wreaths of flowers. And on the back side, it's kind of watercolory splotchy. Well, when I was looking at it, I was thinking, geez, I wonder if my oval dies are going to cut them out. And it didn't, but I did find one that cut the center out. So I used my small oval die. It's here, it is, because I saved it to show you. There it is. And when I layered it into the middle of one of these panels that I cut out, and I'll tell you about that in a minute, I thought I could turn this over just for some contrast and stamp my greeting in the middle of that. Match my card base up to whatever color happened to be the prominent color here, because I'm sure that if I cut other ones, the color is going to probably come up a little bit different. Where'd that piece go? Oh, I put it back. So anyways, the one that I cut out, I thought the blue and the purple, and I don't know how it's showing up on the camera because when I look in here, I don't really see. It kind of looks all gray on my laptop. So anyways, there is some fresh freesia and some starry sky here. A little bit of green, but I think those are the two colors that stood out the most. So I grabbed my fresh freesia paper and laid it on there to see if that would be a pretty card base. And then I grabbed Starry Sky and laid that out on there to see. And there was no doubt Starry Sky was going to make this picture or this image stand out the most. So Starry Sky it is. Sorry, Fresh Freesia, as much as I like purple. Well, when I took that paper with the wreaths on it, I did fidget a little bit and just trim down until I had, I guess I should show you the full sheet so that you'll understand what I'm talking about, because you can still get this paper for free when you order through Stampin' Up. I need to order more blades for my trimmer. There it is. And if I have enough and this paper still available, I probably will get another pack of it. Oh, but there I am, you know, then I'll have extra paper and I won't know what to do with it. I'll be working to use it up later. So I took my trimmer and I just lined up my paper so that I would be able to cut in between this pretty garland and the wreath without interfering with either of the images. And then I just worked my way in from each side, trying to make it as even as I could. And I ended up making it 4 7/8 inches wide. So I figured out my, well, in our case it's going to be our height because we're making a landscape card. It ended up being 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And I think I got it pretty even on each side. So when I figured that out, then I just took that little oval and I cut it out. I told you this is going to be a super simple card. The hardest part was just trying to trim the wreath down out of that 12 by 12 sheet and make it even without ruining any of the other images because I'm a little frugal and I want to use them all, I guess. They're just too pretty. Okay, so standard size card base, an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that I have scored, cut in half, scored. We're going to fold that in half to make a 4 1/4 by a 5.5 inch card base. We are going to make a landscape card. I'm going to layer that beautiful wreath image. I guess this flower looks like it should go that way. Yeah, probably. The little brown-eyed Susan facing down. And then we're going to stamp our greeting on here and layer it in the middle. And really, you can't get much easier than that, right? So I do want to find a greeting that is going to be small enough to fit into that oval. And I'm doing this one with the woven heirlooms. That's why I said we didn't need any of the embossing or die cut, the dies. And I think I hope thinking of, I don't think it's going to fit. Thinking of you, I think is too long. Oh yeah, that's not going to work. So it's going to have to be one of, oh, well, you know what? Valentine's Day is coming up. Here's an I love you. You guys send out Valentine's? I just got done cutting out all the rest of my parts for my friends and family Valentine's, because yes, I send Valentines. So those are all ready. I'm going to take them all downstairs and put them together and get at least the one in the mail today. I have one friend that lives a little bit, she's not that far away really. She's about 3 hours away, her and her husband. And, but Postal Service, my goodness, they need to spruce it up a little bit here. Can't get the back off this sticker. Yeah, I have sent them Christmas cards before that they didn't get until February. So, and I sent them out early with everybody else's. Oh my goodness. There it is. What was that about? Because I haven't used this little I love you yet. So yeah, I wanted to get hers in the mail today. This is Friday for me. Because I've decided that if I don't get these videos done during the week, the weekends are just ridiculous. This is Starry Sky, and because I haven't used this stamp yet, I do want to test it out here. Okay, and I can stamp this in the center, I hope. I hope. I am going to move it forward towards me a little bit, sorry. Kind of want to get it as straight as I can. Not too awfully bad. That off. I put it right off the block. That's a tiny little stamp. Teeny tiny. Yeah, so I got done getting all those little pieces cut out for my, you know what, let's put a little swirly do since there's these little flourishes. I was thinking I'm just going to go ahead and do my video because the card that I really wanted to make is the second card. And it's a fun fold. One that I have not made before, but this one shouldn't be anywhere near as difficult as what I do last time. What did I do that I made a mess? I didn't really make a mess. I just overbought it. Overthunk it. Let's see how is this going to look. I think it'll be all right. But I have to pull it forward towards me again. And I'm sorry. They're just too little. I can't see when it's out there in the glare of the light. Oh, that's cute. I'm good with that. Pretty. Oops, sorry. I mean to shake the table. I was wiping that off. Okay. Get the ink off my fingernail before I smear it. And then we can put this together. If I have a tape runner here, I moved everything over for those Valentines. Oh, I see one. Hope you come back and I put you away. Well, that's a pretty little flourish. Now see, if I can remember that that's in there, that will probably get quite a bit of use. I'm going to wipe that off a little better. It's not, there we go. That blue was kind of dark. It wasn't really coming off my stamp. All right, done. That woven heirlooms. And let me put my little oval die away here. This is just out of layering ovals. Has some scalloped borders and some solid ones. You know, when I was still a demonstrator, one of the things that I always did suggest was if you had the chance to get just, especially if you're just starting out and you don't really know what dies or anything you want to use, if you have the chance to get some basic shapes, you know, squares, circles, ovals, see, isn't that watercolor pretty? Go for it because you will always use them. hate even covering up this side. It's so pretty. All right, and I was going to put my little brown-eyed Susan that way. We'll get this centered, I hope. And now I think I'm going to put some little dimensionals on the back of this and pop it up. And you can embellish this further. You could, if you have some other sets that have little flowers that you want to stamp and die cut, you could add those to your wreath, make it, you know, more 3D. But we're going to stamp the flower with Art Gallery, and that one will take us a couple minutes. It won't be difficult. It's a 2-step stamp. So we'll stamp the outline and then add the fill. And there. How's that for a first card? Letting the paper do the work. I like it. Nice. All right, let's get that second one done. That one will just take a couple minutes longer. It shouldn't be too bad, but we're going to make a collar fold. And this is one that I have not done, so I wanted to give it a try. I always see them. I think they're very pretty. They're not hard. Not hard at all, I don't think. I shouldn't say that, right, because I could probably make this difficult. So I cut another piece of that floral paper. These are just such pretty flowers. The backing on this is a coordinating Blushing Bride print, and so I want to make sure that I'm using a cardstock that coordinates with that, because I was going to use the Fresh Freesia on this one until I turned it over, and we're going to see the back. So I wanted my colors to match. You know, matchy-matchy thing. Let's put these couple pieces away. So I went with Blushing Bride, and I have my card base here. This one will be a portrait. And I have a piece of the floral paper that is cut to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because I like just the little 1/8 of an inch border around my card. You can make your panel 4 by 5 1/4 if you prefer to see more of your base. And actually, that probably would be easier to do the fold that we're going to do. But I cheated. I just cut a piece of scrap paper to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and I folded it in half because I need to know where the center is over here. And I tried the math there a couple times and thought, you know what? I don't have to do that. I really don't. So this is my scrap paper folded in half, folded in half. And I know this is where I want to cut. I want to cut a slit about 2 inches into the center of this panel. I'm just going to make a little pencil mark. If I can find a pencil that actually has a point. And I'm going to mark my little center. Put that into my trimmer with that pencil point in the track. And I'm going to cut into the paper 2 inches. That's it. That's all the math and cutting there is to it. Now, as you might have been able to tell by the name of the fold, we are going to fold from the center cut mark out like a collar on a shirt. And this is why I wanted my inside paper to match the cardstock. This will get layered onto the front of our card. And we can stamp our greeting here. And we're going to make one of those floral images from Art Gallery. So I think the first thing that I want to do is glue those little flaps down, because that will just drive me batty. I hope that's what I wanted to do. Don't really know. I'm not going to adhere it to my card base yet because I do want to stamp a greeting over there. I have a piece of basic white. Oh, I need to put my insert for this one. So when I decide what I want to stamp in there, it'll be ready. And then I have another piece of basic white cardstock on here that I'm going to use Art Gallery. And I think we're going to make, I think the big flower will fit on there. See, I have used this one. Oh, that's kind of big. Maybe I want to use the smaller bouquet. Well, let's just do the big one. Yeah, I think we will. Okay. I have Blushing Bride. I'm going to stamp the large detailed stamp of the image. And if I remember correctly, this is one of those stamps that, wait, that's the fill. That is going to have sort of an artistic impression behind it. It's not going to fill it in the lines like you were coloring. And I think the die cuts in 2 pieces, yeah. So don't get discouraged if you do this and it doesn't line up perfectly. It's not supposed to. Now I'm going to use the other one, and I'm wondering if I did this backwards. I think I might have used to make this the darker one. I'm not sure. So I want to stamp this off one time. And stamp over top of the image that we just made. And it fills it in. Isn't that pretty? I like it. And we do have the big stem. And I have pulled out some old olive. And I'm wondering if I want to stamp this off one time too, since, oh, I think I need to wash that. Yeah, I think I do want to stamp it off once because of our pretty watercolor. They're not very bright. That's nice. That's a pretty green. Can't go wrong with old olive. All right. Then I just need to decide what greeting I want to add to that. But we'll cut these little pieces of our flower out while we think about that. Oh, goodness. I'm either getting older or this thing's getting heavier every time I go to pick it up. I'm not sure. What do you think? Get the coordinating dies out for this. Line them up, I hope. Wonderful. You're not missing it. I know you can't see this part. I'm just trying to line the dies up around the stamped image. Okay. Run them through your die cut machine. Now we can put this guy away. Try to get up all my dies that just kind of fell out of the package. And we'll layer this up on our card to see how it will fit. And decide what greeting I want to add. Happy birthday, congratulations, good luck, sorry. I think I will go with just a happy birthday because that's what I use the most. Can she read? There it is. I like I'm thinking of you, but I don't think it will fit. I'm not sure happy birthday is going to fit. Darn it. Okay, we could do best wishes. Best wishes will fit. Off there. Yeah, best wishes will fit. That's okay. Put you little guys away for 1 minute. My stamp mat. You know what would make this really handy? To keep my stamp in place. And I just put it away down here. Because I was using it for my little Valentines. It's my Stamparatus because then once I have it set up in here, it's not going to move. Can't get this to not stick to my fingers. Okay. Looking straight. Can you tell I'm concentrating big? Okay. Close the door on that. Now I can take off that pretty pattern paper. I'm not sure how The Blushing Bride is going to stamp on Blushing Bride paper, but I'm going to give it a try. Not bad at all. And because it's in my Stamparatus, I can make it darker just by stamping over and over it a couple times. It's a little crooked. I wonder if we're going to notice once I have the paper on. Maybe it will camouflage it a little bit, huh? Stamp back in the case. And we'll layer our card together. That way. This. Folded cardstock. Kitty cat hair. I had to send Ella outside earlier. She was throwing stuff all over, and I just figured before I even started this, she was going to have to go play with stuff downstairs. Told her I had too much to do today. Be picking up kitty things that she threw all over. I'm surprised she hasn't come back up here yet, though, because I did open the door again after she was down there for a little bit. Take the release papers off of the back of our foam dimensionals. Add some to the back of, I could have used big ones on here, but I think I have them all over with my Valentine bits. I want to be able to go give the puppies all their lunch and get everybody outside, so I figured I could put my Valentines together at the kitchen table once I had everything cut out and ready to go. What do you think of that? All these little, oh, put my insert in there. That paper's gorgeous. I really like this. You really, I told you, it's embarrassing because this was so easy. There it is. Woven Heirlooms and Art Gallery. And I hope you like them. Maybe if you have either of these sets or something like it, remember, just about any design you see can be adapted to suit the stamp sets that you have. This can be done with any paper, any stamp set. All it is cutting your paper in the center and folding it back to make a little bit of a collar fold. Pretty. I like that. And this one, obviously you have to have, well, you could make your own. You could stamp a wreath and then cut the center out, flip your paper over, and layer it up a little bit. So thanks for joining me today while we did a couple of cards. I hope you're going to feel crafty and inspired and go make something. Send it out and make somebody smile. And I'll see you again real soon. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.